Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty. We're welcome back on this Tuesday morning, and it's going to be a great day today, Pat, because I have got a surprise for you. You upset somebody yesterday, and this gentleman is going to join the show and straighten you out.
I am looking forward to being straightened out.
All righty, ladies.
What did I upset somebody about? I mean, just my existence.
Let's just find out. We'd like to welcome, guess who? Rob Moyer. Good morning, Rob. How are you, brother?
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
It's good so far. It's good so far.
Patrick, I was throwing stuff at the car radio and almost ran off 515 yesterday. And
what?
I love you like a brother from another mother, so this pains me.
Okay, fire away, Rob. Take your best shot.
You were so wrong yesterday. So, listen, Iran has been a thorn in the side of the world since the original Iranian hostage crisis in 1979. The Beirut bombing killed over 200 United States Marines. Bomb after bomb after bomb was provided to ISIS in Iraq and Afghanistan that killed over 600 Americans in battle in the war on terror. And nobody on media reports how many legs, arms, eyeballs, and burned skin from head to toe were caused by those IEDs of American soldiers. Okay, they are the most evil thing in the world today. Not to mention what they've done to Israel. Now, president after president has said they cannot have a nuclear weapon, but nobody's acted. Why? This is the forest you guys are missing for the trees. The why was because of all the groups that Iran controls and funds, the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah. Obama knew that if he did a B-2 flight over Tehran and blew up a nuclear facility, that all holy hell would be unleashed in the Middle East from all these groups. But they screwed up on October 7th. They poked the Israeli bear. And Israel has systematically taken apart Hamas, Hezbollah, and Donald Trump just a couple months ago, which got hardly any coverage in the media, took apart the Houthis. And they became fangless, no bite anymore. And then the Israelis go in and eliminate air defenses and have complete dominance over Tehran. So now we've got a U.S. president that I think even Barack Obama would have made this decision. I've got no threat. I've got no threat to my forces, no real threat. If the Israelis have been flying for 10 days and have complete air superiority, my B-2s are not getting shot down by some dude with an AK-47 that hears the noise overhead. So we went for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, once in the last 45-year opportunity to take this out, because sooner or later we were going to have to do this. To pass up this opportunity today, even if Iran was a year or 2 years away from getting a nuclear bomb, some American president was going to have to do this one day, and maybe without the waters being parted by Israel to make this possible. So Israel is the all-star player in the Super Bowl game. The United States are the guys that caught the final catch in the end zone. And this is the chance for the world to be such a better place. So bravo to Trump for making that decision. Bravo to Israel for what they've been doing. I sleep much better at night knowing this is finally being taken care of. And now we have a truce. Can you imagine a world in which Iran is not trying to stir all this crap? Go ahead.
We kind of got a truce.
Yeah, I know. But that's to be expected in these things. Everybody gets a little, itchy trigger finger at the end to make sure the other guy's not really going to shoot.
Well, go ahead and tell Pat what you're upset about.
Huh?
Go ahead and tell Pat what you're upset about.
Well, just that you guys, I think, were so wrong yesterday, Pat.
What was I wrong? What was I wrong about?
Trump was, the United States coal was just a hole in the side of the ship. That doesn't justify this. That's when I really almost wrecked the car.
Oh, Rob, what am I going to do with you, right?
There's something else.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was asked, what would I do? Which is essentially asking my opinion. And I said, I'd continue to negotiate. So now you're castigating me for having an opinion that might not fly with the MAGA group.
normally I wouldn't. It's not because of MAGA. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene is in total agreement with you. That ought to make you pause and ask
It
yourself.
scares me when I realize I'm in agreement with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I agree. That's probably a bad thing.
Yeah, and AOC, by the way. So you really need to have some Irish whiskey and
oh, geez. Now you're just pouring salt in the wounds. You're calling up all these radical liberal elected representatives, right?
That's right. No, I am so passionate about this. They are my first political memory, the Iranian hostage crisis in 1979. And they have done nothing good in the world since. Killed thousands of people. And this it had to happen. And there's never been a better time for this to happen.
But I thought President Trump said that we were no longer the world's policeman.
Well, I don't know that what he did, a one-time airstrike, is really considered, engaging us in a big war.
Hey! It's one time, as of today, right? June 24th.
Well, now is this bombing not an interest in America, being that they have nukes or
going
to have nukes? So that wouldn't necessarily be policing the world.
Well, wait a minute. Why aren't we bombing India and Pakistan and North Korea, and the list goes on?
Because they don't believe they have a religious fatwa to eliminate all the infidels. Iran does.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go back and make my point that this is not a political war. This is not one that can be negotiated a ceasefire or a treaty. Because it's religious, there may be no room to negotiate.
I don't think there was until the mullahs had no other choice, or they were going to cease to exist. Because the next step in this war is to drop one of those big bombs around top of the turban of the Ayatollah, or whatever you call that thing he wears on his head.
Isn't that sort of their life dream? Isn't that the goal, to become a martyr?
I'm fine with helping him be one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the question is has Trump not been consistent for 20 years on Iran not getting a nuclear weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
I don't
thing.
know, Packy, you probably have all the quotes, right?
I do. Believe me, I always bring the receipts, Pat. I always do. And I'm ready. If you would like one, I'd be happy to give you one.
Yes, we do, Packy.
But he's been saying that same thing for 20 years. So you kind of put words in his mouth saying that, not being the world's policeman. He has said that. He's not for forever wars. But I mean, I think that he destroyed the nuclear sites and now he's calling for peace. Yeah. And we'll see how that goes.
And they came to the table there for a short period of time. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of some issues here before it's finally done. But they did have a bomb go to Israel and actually killed 3 people, I think, that was in the bomb.
They did. I find it very fitting that Iran's final bomb killed 3 civilians and Israel's final bomb killed a nuclear scientist. But, targets are targets.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's we'll just have to wait and see. But I just think I think it's a whole lot better now that the America is not run by men in dresses.
But he's been pretty stern on Iran, but he's actually been pretty stern on Israel too. If you looked at what he just said,
certainly was this morning.
Turn around your planes, do not drop those bombs.
That's what he's saying.
Then he dropped an F-bomb this morning.
No, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we're not gonna quote him on that.
No, not at all.
Pat, you said yesterday also that that famous money train or money plane or whatever you want to call it. You said a lot of the money there was interest payments from that they earned on the bank account.
Yeah.
Well, Iran is a Sharia law country, and under Sharia law, interest is illegal. So why should they
only when they conduct business Muslim to Muslim?
So in other words, if I as a Christian walk into a Muslim bank and try to get a loan, I have to pay interest on that. But if I say I'm a Muslim, I don't have to pay interest on that.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, that's a good policy to have. Yeah. No, they shouldn't have gotten an interest back. If you don't believe in interest, why should you?
That's a commercial transaction. It's not. It has nothing to do with the government.
That's not true, Pat. It says right here that this applies to Muslim transaction and Muslim to non-Muslims. Same thing.
No interest.
What?
No interest.
No interest?
No interest. Charging or paying interest, aka riba, is prohibited, and to both to Muslims and Muslims to non-Muslims.
I don't think it works so much when it's Muslim to non-Muslim.
Well, You might not think that, but read that
Pat,
again, Packy.
I guess what
Read
we're
your
all trying
source
to tell
again.
you is that your hatred for Orange Man is blinding you.
Yeah.
It's
I think
clouding your judgment, and you
I
have
think
to let
that's
go,
been
or you
perfectly
will
clear since
continue-
day one, Packy.
You will continue to keep making bad choices, and,
Bad,
you know,
but poor
being
poor
wrong
life
on
choices.
political analysis.
Poor life
I mean,
choices.
Hey, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. You're
You've been
talking
wrong
about
on everything.
continue to negotiate. I don't understand where you would go with that. I mean, they give them 60 days to negotiate, and they just kept on, and they've been doing it for 40 years. You say, "Oh, we continue to negotiate." I don't understand where you're coming. What are you going to negotiate after? I mean, after you wear it out, and you just keep on and on. And at some point, it's like, "Hey, we're done. We're going to send some bombs."
When you said you would negotiate, but how long? You didn't answer that question. How long would you negotiate? Well,
I did
believe
answer
he
that
did
question.
41
I said
years.
as long as it would take.
okay, so but in the meantime, they're building a nuclear weapon. Let's just say they are. I mean,
Supposedly.
but they're trying to.
Okay.
Well, let's just say that they're
Okay.
continuing to enrich their uranium,
Okay.
which is the fact.
So you would take the Joe Biden vegetable approach. You would just sit there and just eat ice cream.
I wouldn't
That's the
wouldn't
plan?
categorize my strategy as the Joe Biden vegetable approach, but that sort of defines the differences that we have.
I don't know. I would say the JBVA. That would be your approach. The
JBVA.
Joe Biden vegetable approach.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, when you talk about nuclear proliferation, with fundamentalist terrorists, you can't negotiate forever. You just can't. And then that is a time when we have to be the world policeman, especially if we're the only one capable of being the final world policeman like we were Saturday night.
Okay, you do
Period.
realize that the good guys at one point in their history were the terrorists, right?
Yeah. But we're the good guys now.
Okay.
Yeah. So your argument is kind of akin to, I wouldn't have done D-Day. I would have kept negotiating with Hitler.
Hey, wait. I did not say I wouldn't do D-Day.
I
Don't
said
be
it's
you're as
said it's
bad as
akin to
Patty,
that.
putting
No.
words in my mouth.
What's the difference?
I'm saying it's akin to that. I know you
It is
didn't say
akin.
that.
It is
But
akin.
it's kind of, well, there's going to be 2,500 Americans die if we go into D-Day. Let's just negotiate. And meanwhile, another couple million Jews get killed. So, and more European countries get taken over. There's sometimes you got to put your foot down. And Iran with a nuclear bomb would have made the World War II Holocaust look like nothing.
Like, they don't need to enrich it past a certain point, and I think, like, if they're enriching it past a certain point, I don't know the nuclear science, you know what I mean? But it's like we're enriching it past a certain point, and we're doing it thusand of feet underground.
Right.
You know, it's like,
But it's
Nobody
peaceful.
what are you doing with that? Oh,
it's
we're
peaceful.
just
It's just peaceful. Don't look.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, with 60% enriched uranium, you can still build a dirty bomb. Like 60%, just because it's not 90, that's still dangerous. That will
I don't know
still
anything
mess
about
you
that.
up. I learned that yesterday.
And there's figures and angles that they might have snuck some of that out of there.
Very possible.
Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? But I do know that they said that Joe Biden led 700. Where's this at? I got it here somewhere. I'm sorry.
I had another quote come through. Somebody says, Pat asked yesterday what changed, and then the person said October 7th changed everything when they bombed Israel.
Yeah.
So apparently that's what changed.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's get to a break. We got to get to a break, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen next.
Pat, are you doing your exercises?
Yeah.
You
I'm
have your
doing
little-
them.
You have your little Trump doll, Orange Man.
I stuck more pins in them.
All right, we'll get to break when we get on the other side. All righty, we're back with you. We're sideways as always. I reckon, I went on X there just a minute and looked at all that. Of course, President Trump on Israel, we have two countries that have been fighting so hard they don't know what the beep they're doing. He is definitely upset. But then on Truth Social, Trump just posted there 56 minutes ago, Israel is not going to attack Iran. All planes will turn around and head home while doing friendly plane wave. I don't know what that is.
Little wing dip.
Yeah.
Little wing dip.
Yep, to Iran. Nobody will be hurt. The ceasefire is in effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter. In capital letters, Donald Trump, President of the United States. So the problem we have now the Democrats, they don't know what to protest. They're kind of in the wings. Which way do we go again? So I don't know. Look like Trump's on top of this again. I don't know if it is or not, but that's what come out of Truth Social, and that's pretty much where all the information comes from. So what do y'all think?
Steve, I think, we've always said if Trump cured cancer, they'd find something wrong with it. If that were to happen, man, think of all the cardiologists and the nurses and the hospitals. They'll go out of business. We'll have all those people unemployed that used to make lots of money, and now all they're getting is their weekly unemployment check. That's not good. There'll always be something wrong. We just tune them out, because if this works, okay. And I said if this works and turns the Middle East into a peaceful place, everybody recognizes Israel, they have diplomatic relations with one another, then this is akin to the Berlin Wall coming down, and there's just no two ways about it.
Well, that's what we talked about yesterday. Actually, they talked about that. So
sorry, I didn't hear that.
That whole conversation started with a great big if.
Well, it is an if at this point. But it's got to start somewhere, doesn't it?
50 minutes ago, Iran, capital letters, Donald J. Trump on Truth Social, Iran will never rebuild their nuclear facilities. So maybe that's part of the peace deal.
Maybe they don't have to, since there's 400 kilograms of near bomb-grade uranium that nobody knows where it is.
Maybe we need to negotiate some more then, Pat. Yeah, we need to negotiate some more.
I'm pretty confident Mossad will find it and put some pagers in it.
Yeah. Well, now, if y'all watched that clip where they were actually interviewing Donald Trump there with the when he was fixing to fly out, he was upset. He was definitely, he was bent, man. He was, he's angry at both sides. Yeah. So, I think this is a step in the right direction, though. There's no doubt. And the thing about it, you're talking about the MAGA split. I mean, we talked about that yesterday, Rob. I don't know how you feel about MAGA split. I mean, you got the Hodge twins. They're on one side. Candace Owens just went plumb sideways.
She just lost her mind. I don't think there's really a split myself. I mean, look, so maybe they disagree on one issue. Does that make a split? They still agree on like 90% of the other issues. Does that really mean a split has occurred?
And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's back.
Okay, but if somebody disagrees, they've lost their mind. Is that how we categorize them now? But we're not sure if it's a single issue that they're split on, or we still agree with 99%. Is that what you're saying,
Steve?
Steve?
That way. It certainly seems that way. I mean, I don't see a lot of the people that are coming out against against bombing Iran. I don't see them disagreeing with him on all the other things now. And by the way, you should open the border. No, they're not saying that. They're disagreeing on this one thing. And by the way, it looks like it's being a successful little project.
Marjorie
So
Taylor,
my question is it agreeable? Is it okay to disagree on one thing?
Oh, sure. Absolutely it is. Of course.
Yeah,
Thank
I think it's
you.
good.
But the reality is, what are they going to do? Campaign for Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom in a couple years?
I'm trying to figure out are you saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens aren't crazy now, Pat? Like I really can't keep up with your logic.
I think they're still crazy. They're just my kind of crazy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the one saying they're crazy.
Yeah. MAGA's not a cult. There you go. Everybody's got their own thinking. But now Marjorie Taylor Greene's back. Thank you, Mr. President, for pursuing peace. How about that? And then she was
there you go.
You have to make up your mind which way you go. But here's the thing: the morning dish. We've been on the right side from the get-go, man. Yep, we're right again. Ding, ding, ding. How about that?
No, I think it's good though. I think when you have people like Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, the other side of things, like, hey, don't listen to the warmongering, the military, industrial complex. Don't listen to them. I mean, he needs to hear that. It's good to have that other side of it.
Absolutely.
So wait a minute.
It's
okay for them to disagree, but I get crucified, right?
Well, because you're here.
Yeah.
But that's the script of the show, right?
No, you're not really standing on anything. You're just saying, I just sit around and eat ice cream and negotiate. Like, that's not even like that's.
At least I'd be happy because ice cream makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
I just had to give you
You're just
a way to think about it. Patrick.
It's like
That's
anything. It's like whatever he does. I'm just sitting around waiting for 750 so we can say what he did wrong. Like just to see what we can find, make something up, and say what he did wrong. There's no solution. It's just Orange Man bad.
Okay, let me ask you this, Pat. I mean, after all that's been done and where we're at right now, what do you think about what happened? I mean, what do you think about what Trump did and what not just Trump? I mean, it was America and and all the people in the team, which is outstanding. There's not one of them up there that's wearing a dress. And
or a dog mask.
I mean, honestly.
You know, like-
So what do you think now after all's been said and done? Do you think that maybe Trump was right?
I don't think that the decision on that is still up there. I
That's
think he's
fair.
headed. I think he's been successful thus far. At least with the Israel-Iran thing.
You know, every once in a while, Pat says something, and there's like this awkward moment of silence as we're all trying to contemplate what it was that he just said. And I think we just had it right now. I haven't been on the show very long, but I've picked that up.
He's only been right with the biggest problem in the world for the past 2,000 years. Just that one so far.
Okay.
I love you, Pat.
So do you think that what he did was probably the right thing to do? I mean, after looking at what happened,
I don't.
you still think he should negotiate. So if he would be negotiating right now,
If you ask me my opinion,
I'm
I'm
taking
likely
it.
to give it to you, Stephen.
Well,
So
listen,
there really isn't an argument. That's my opinion.
okay. Here's my question to you, though. So if we were negotiating the way you think we should negotiate, where would we be right now?
In negotiations.
Do you think there would have been more death in that that time?
More death?
Yes.
I don't know. That's unknowable.
Are
Okay,
they bombing each other?
Well, what's your reasoning, Patrick? Why do you think that we should keep negotiating with them?
Because I think there was a huge risk that by doing that, he'd alienate half the world, and we would be in another world war.
I don't. Okay, now I disagree with that, Pat.
I do too.
I think the whole
Yeah.
world is
Hey,
wanting something
Stephen,
done
you know
with
what
all
the
that.
neat thing? The neat thing about this is, you say to me, "I disagree," and I don't try to change your mind. I accept where you are.
Well, let
But
me
if
say
I
what I gotta
say
you
this is
hateful
where I
thing.
am, you go down 25 wacky paths to get me to agree.
Hey,
No,
Pat,
I'm just
Pat
giving you my
accepts you
opinion.
for who you are, Stephen, and he's
Yeah, I can
never
tell.
corrected you or tried to change your mind.
Dress and all,
I'm
Stephen.
trying to give you my opinion, you old fart.
I have heard your opinion for God. How many years have I been on this show now?
How long has he been on?
You're looking
Yeah.
at me. I've been on a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
I think the world in general wants something. Everybody wants something done with Iran. Do you not think? I mean, all around the world, I think.
Wait,
Yes.
Stephen.
I think.
You
Come
just
on,
said
Pat.
I think this. You should think this too, Pat, because you're stupid if you don't think what I think.
How come when I
Well
say-
said.
Yeah,
Well said,
we
Pat.
just turned that into the next Pat Malone sound quote.
Okay, all right.
What do you think, Smart Steve? Do you think that the people around the world or around the area and all that is kind of glad to see that Iran, who is hollering death to everybody, and
I think that is 100% correct. I think that when Iran threatened to close off the Strait of Hormuz, that was just like them, holding their breath till their faces turned blue. It would not really affect us in any way.
China it would.
China, it would, yeah.
Yeah.
It would affect them. It wouldn't really affect
What do
us.
you think, Rob? You got to.
Listen, this was a no-brainer. So look at the reception that the Middle East just gave Donald Trump a couple months ago. They brought out every camel they had in Qatar and the horses in Saudi Arabia. It's clear that they are behind the United States, okay? And by defanging all the extremist groups, the Houthis, Hamas, so forth, these guys can now be more open about backing relations with Israel. And I think the next step in this is going to be the Davidson Accords, which Donald Trump got far along with in his first term. If he'd been reelected, it had all been done before October 10th ever started, in my opinion. But I think now that's the next step. And so you'll have international relations. You'll have the Saudi Arabian embassy in Israel and vice versa. And this will take hold, and Iran's going to become a pariah after that happens. Nobody wanted a nuclear Iran, especially Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE. So there was never a threat of World War III starting here. Once Israel defanged all those groups, the threat of World War III went away, in my opinion.
Iran is not the hill that anybody is going to die on.
No.
No.
coming to their defense.
Nobody's
Correct.
saying anything.
Not
mean,
anymore.
Some people say, like, "Oh, we're condemning Trump's actions," but
Yeah,
like,
who
that's-
said that? Cuba, Venezuela,
Yeah,
North
like
Korea.
North Korea. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but nobody's like, "Oh, we're going to stick up for him." Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
And the only real risk of that
Yeah.
was Russia wanting to take control of Syria, but Trump took care of that. So we even took Syria off the map, right? So this whole chessboard was set up for this Saturday night thing, and it was played to perfection by the bad orange man.
And it was done before anybody knew it. I just think that's amazing. It was
Yep,
top
it really
speed.
is.
Yeah, apparently Pete Hegseth found the leaker.
Yeah, he got him.
I think it's really significant when Pete Hegseth gets kudos for keeping his mouth shut.
Or maybe it wasn't him that was doing the leaking. I mean, you know, did we
It
ever
was
figure out what
him.
happened with that chat group thing? I mean, was it who was the perpetrator of that? Was it in fact Pete's guy that he fired?
Pretty sure it was Pete because his wife was on it, you know. But
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
all make mistakes and we learn from them, and obviously nobody repeated that this time. So that's
Very true.
okay.
Well, didn't everybody say he was drinking a lot or something? What
Yeah.
God, maybe he's dried up a little bit. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny though. It's a no-brainer, Pat. That's your whole problem, man. You ain't using your brain. It's a no-brainer. What you? I don't think it's Mike. So
Give me $5 and I could get a cup of coffee, please.
we're gonna get to a break. We get back. I want to talk about the regime. Say that.
Regime.
Say that, Pat. Regime. Can you say it? Regime change.
Takes
I wanna-
two Steves to get the words out.
I
Doesn't
know that's right.
it?
Hey, we're gonna get to the break. I want to know what y'all think about that when we come back. So we're gonna take a break. All righty, we're back with you. We're glad Rob's here with us this morning. He took he blacks out where he can take his smoke break. Right? That's what Nick says. Rob's having a smoke break. So anyway, yeah,
Got to do what you got to do, man.
there you go. All right, regime change. Regime.
Well done. Well done.
yeah, I'm doing better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
I'm doing better.
Baby
What's
steps.
going on with this, do you think? Do you think we're going to have that? I don't know, man. I mean, who's going to be the next one in charge?
I think the answer lies with the Iranian people. I mean, you know, that'll be up to them, if you ask me. My opinion is that it's up to the Iranian people. It should be handled internally. I don't think we should be in the business of that.
Do you
but
think the people will stand up now? You think they'll stand up and take over or not?
if they don't, they've lost the golden opportunity to do so.
What do you think, Pat?
I don't. Did the Chinese people stand up after Tiananmen Square?
No. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but big difference. The Tiananmen Square, the Chinese government was not obliterated, and the Iranian government pretty much has been. And the last
Tim
targets Israel's hit in the last day have been the apparatus that Iran used, their secret police and Elvin prison, where they keep their political prisoners. So they're teeing it up, and I guarantee you, there's a bunch of Mossad guys in big old pickup trucks taking loads of AK-47s across the sand to give to the kids that want freedom. I hope there is, and maybe the CIA is helping too. Who knows? But
They took a lot of the top brass out.
they did.
Yeah. How many did they say? I think it was unreal.
It was a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, they just did another one last night. You know, like I said, this scientist guy.
I thought we were out of the business of nation building.
That's not us. That would be our Israel, Mossad, and the people themselves.
And Israel does stuff without our permission all the time, huh?
Well,
Yeah, they did last night.
Yeah. Well, Trump mad about that.
yeah.
Yeah, he mad about that. There ain't no doubt. He mad about that.
They defended themselves.
Who did?
Israel.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Let them rip, Tater Chip.
Yeah, I think Israel's into the end of this one, no matter what Trump says. Honestly, they're not going to live like they've lived anymore. They've decided they're not going to be under constant missile barrages and from all sides, and they're not going to let this happen again.
Well, you know, we had that guy from Israel that actually grew up in Israel, and he's over here now. And, you know, he said, what's the most important thing to you in America? And we were freedom. That's our most important thing. We like our freedom, right? I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
Yep.
He said in Israel, his safety. That's
Yeah.
their number one concern is safety. You don't think about that, but that's what they're worried about, safety. So, I mean, I can see where this is going on that. But it would be nice to have somebody over there in charge that we could actually get along, do business with, without having to worry about sleeper cells in the United States. That's something else everybody's talking about, sleeper cells. Have y'all heard, and is people not protesting now? Have we not got protests going on over this?
There's a No Kings protest happening in Hiawassee on Saturday, from what I understand. We'll see how that goes.
Actually, somebody sent me that where it's the
Yeah.
Democratic Party is putting on a No Kings protest in Hiawassee Saturday.
Town Square.
You have that? Who's got that? Anybody got that? Somebody give me that.
We're against world peace. We're against world peace.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Where are they coming up with No Kings though? I don't understand this. I don't know if they know. I don't know if they know. Who's the king?
I don't know.
Pat, who's the king? What are they mad about?
You're not that dumb.
Who's the king?
You're not that dumb.
I am that dumb. I don't see a king.
I will fight that to my death.
Yeah, I am. Who's the king? How do they? Where are we coming up with king?
If
At?
there was a king, there certainly wouldn't be allowed to protest against him. That's for sure.
Yeah. What about that? Honestly, does anybody know? And their signs. I mean, are you going, Pat? I know Harry's already. He's in here making his sign here at the station.
Harry's one of the organizers, I think.
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. And they're like, oh, it was peaceful. Ain't no, and it's a bunch of old parts up there too. It ain't no young people out trying to work and make a living. Right?
No comment.
No
Hey,
comment.
hey. Age discrimination is still on the books.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, this is a big problem the Democrats have, right? Every one of these battles, Trump has got them picking the bad guy. They're picking the MS-13 gang member
Yep.
over keeping American citizens safe. They're flying down to, where was it? El Salvador, having
Yep.
margaritas to get this guy, this MS-13 human trafficker, out of jail. Now
He
they're
is out of
having
jail.
a protest to support Tehran and the mullahs and the people that chant death to Israel, death to America. Don't worry about keeping us safe. Got to protect their right to say death to America. Every one of these battles, they're picking the bad guy.
Yeah.
And that is not going to end well for them in the polls.
I agree with Packy, though. We got to stop talking about what mistakes they're making, because they may one day, the light bulb may go on and they'll change it.
Well, you're right about that.
Let them encourage them. I mean, I think there should be I think everybody should attend the protest in Hiawassee.
All right, there you go.
Not just the dozen people that stand on the sidewalk.
Pat
And the
has just
sheriff
extended an open
sheriff
invitation.
just sent you a dozen roses, Pat. Said thank you very much.
Okay.
I ain't got anything to protest right now. What do you got anything you don't protest?
I'm good.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? You got anything?
No, I'm the happiest I've been in 40 years since my wife said yes on the second date.
I like what Charlie Kirk put out here. Donald Trump divided America. He separated the common sense from the pure stupidity. So there we go. Yeah. Yeah, he's done that. Pat, I think you're on the stupidity side. I'm sorry.
I would protest that, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Certainly you're entitled to your own opinion, as opposed to me,
Right.
the underling who's not entitled to his own opinion.
Well, why ain't they protesting like men and women's sports or abortion or something like that? Why don't they protest? something?
That's the thing, Stephen.
Why?
They are protesting that. You watch whatever shows up in Hiawassee. I'll bet there'll be 10 or 20 different signs,
Well, they
Yeah.
are.
different issues.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
that's the big thing with them. They can't coalesce around one thing.
But
They'll
again, the
go
men
in.
and women's sports is a 90-10 thing that people don't want men in their daughters' sports. And
Yeah.
they're on the wrong side of that one. So,
Simone
well,
Biles had to
listen.
delete her X account because of that.
And they got it. This actually happened in Maine. They had a man in drag doing the weather in Maine. So, what is it? They're supporting. Just what is this? What is
I
it?
don't know, man.
We don't go to those kind of channels, Steven.
Yeah, Stephen, how do you always get
What
these
time is he
stories
on?
about men in drag?
I'm just.
How do
I
you
get
have?
it, man. I get.
Are you
everybody
friends
into
with
this
somebody
stuff.
we don't know?
Yeah, Harry Bond's on top of it, man. He's on top of it. He
Uh-huh.
sends me all these great stories.
What's the
You-
monthly fee to watch that channel, Steven?
Yeah,
Just asking for a friend, right?
Right.
yeah.
Rob just wants your password, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I mean, honestly, this really happened in Maine.
You must miss the days when you were the cross-dressing judge.
Let me tell you something. If you ever see me in a dress, just shoot me. Can you just go ahead and do it? I've lost my mind. Yep. So, all right, we got to give something away. We're getting at that time, Packy. And today is Daniel Duello. We appreciate him bringing this part of the show. He worked for the insurance companies, and now he's working for you. So don't forget, if you have a problem with a wreck or anything like that, if you slipped and fallen and they're trying to keep your money from you, call him. What are we going to give away, Packy?
All right, so we've got two passes here to West Tubing Company. So you can go tubing this nice weekend. It's going to be really hot. Yeah, so go tubing, and we're also going to throw in a free pizza courtesy of Papa's, Hiawassee, Murphy, and Blairs.
I totally want to win. Yeah, I want to win this one.
You can't, you moron.
Come on,
You're
man.
The show.
Hey, if a train can bring money.
The train taking money to Iran. Yeah, we never get that. This is Smart Steve talking now, yes. So, what's the question, Pat?
Do we want to repeat yesterday's question because we didn't?
Sure, we never got the
Get
answer.
an answer. And that was what year or where was the mother of all bombs first used?
There you go.
I almost called in on this one because I'm pretty sure I know where. I'm just not sure I know the year. So I'm glad you're doing this again.
Wait, so Rob can answer this, but I can't?
No, I'm not allowed to play either.
Dang it. All right, cool.
All right, we're going to get to a break. Y'all give us a call, 706-379-9770. And we're going to take a quick break. All righty, we're back with you. Who we got, Packy?
All right, we got Derek Cheek.
Derek, good morning. How are you, man? If you turn the racket down, we can hear you.
I'm doing good.
Well, that's what we like it. Are you working today?
Headed there now. Almost fixed to turn in the gate.
There you go. Oh, going in the gate. You work there at Pat
Yeah.
Malone, or you ain't one of the homeowners association repairman over there, are you?
No, I'm going into Ware Chevrolet.
Oh man, that's good. Where you got all them Corvettes? Y'all got Corvettes over there?
Yeah, I got a Z06 orange. You ought to come see it.
Can I test drive it for like the weekend or something?
No, I might take you up the road and back in it. But I don't think I can. Well, for a few easy payments, you can take it for the weekend.
That's about all I could make. A few easy. They'd be a few. They wouldn't be so easy, but y'all would definitely be coming after it. So, all right. What's the question, Pat?
What year and where was the mother of all bombs first used?
2003 at Eglin Air Force Base.
You're a winner. You're a winner.
Wait a minute.
What?
We bombed ourselves?
Yeah, no.
That's not correct.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Well,
Well, we
all
tried.
right. We tried.
All right, man. Thank you for calling, brother. I'll be over in a little while. Pick that
Hey,
head
tell
up.
you what, Derek, in honor of Ware Chevrolet being one of our sponsors, we're going to send you over to West Tubing Company anyway. All right? Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pat, tell me the right answer so I'll know.
The right answer is 2017 in Afghanistan.
Okay.
But
They invented it. They put it. They got it built for the first time in 2003 at Eglin.
Yeah, but the question was, where was it first used?
I know that. I misunderstood. That's my fault.
Yeah.
All right, we're
Pat's
good.
Always right,
Yes,
whether
he
we're
is.
right or wrong. Yeah, always
I
right.
want to know one thing, Stephen. I want to know one thing.
Yes,
when
sir.
You gonna have that? When you gonna have that joker back on the radio show that says that we shouldn't be supporting Israel?
Oh, you talking about Casey Push?
I don't know.
Well,
I'd like to be on the show that day to perform my point of view.
that next morning I woke up, there was actually a cross in my yard, and it was black. So I don't know if we're going to be doing that no more or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. I don't say a whole lot about politics, but I'm gonna tell you something. As long as we support Israel, and as long as the United States is a friend of Israel, we will prosper.
Yeah.
It is no coincidence that when Israel became a country in the late 40s, right after World War II, that's when America became the most prosperous nation in the world. That was by no accident.
Yeah. Pat's going to argue that on you. We appreciate you calling, man.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Well, I feel worried for Casey because I wouldn't want to get on Mossad's crap list. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man.
is
We got
he
it
coming
here.
on again soon?
I don't know.
Hit that space bar, Steve.
We need to
See
take
if we're ready.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready. We're good.
we good. We need to take a poll. We need to take a poll. Should we get him back or not get him back?
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't got no polls. Okay, make your voice heard. This is the Democratic Party. The only thing I've got here you sent me is it's Saturday from 12 to 1. They're just going to be there for an hour.
Yeah, that's what they say on their website.
Yeah, that's going to be on the square in Hiawassee. So that's a good reason to avoid town tomorrow or Saturday, right?
Hey, can I give you something better to do real quick?
Yeah.
Go to the Appalachian Veterans Memorial Park inside of Meeks Park. We've got the landscaping done. We got the lighting up, and the brick wall is being built, I think, this coming week. And but it's not too late to buy bricks. You can still honor a veteran in your family by going to theveteranspark.org and getting yourself a brick. And guys, it's looking really nice. So
Yeah.
go
Awesome.
check it out.
And when you're done with that, head over to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds and go to the Summer Heat concert. My band Switchback will be playing. I think we start around 11:30. Quick Brown Fox will be playing. Struck by Lightning will be playing.
And I'll be doing interpretive dancing.
Yeah,
So-
we're bringing Packy on stage with us for the
That's gonna be
Switchback.
hot.
He'll be doing some interpretive dance,
Which-
maybe a ribbon. Maybe
Which king are we protesting? Is it the one that forced people to get vaccines, or the one who did the close the beaches down, or the king who made us all wear masks,
or the one that
closed-
just gave us world peace.
Yeah, just wondering.
I think it's the one that gives us world peace.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
I don't want world peace.
I want peas and carrots.
Yeah, we want that.
Peas and carrots are good.
God. Hey, tomorrow's Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter. That ought to be a good time for old Pat here.
Wow, looking forward to that.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll talk to y'all in the morning.